after quite possibly one of the best road course races we have seen in the JBL Cup Series last week at Willow Springs International. So much strategy, so much passing, and it ended up being the all-time wins leader of Juan Garcia gaining his 13th win on MS Race 97. But this week we are at a short track for the first time of the actual season, and for the second race of the West Coast Swing. We are in the desert playing in the sand, and we'll see if we can tackle this unique 1 mile short track for the SeatGeek 500k at Phoenix Raceway for race 4 of season 6 of the JBL Cup Series. What's up everyone, it's the boy on Race 97 aka Nathan Stapleton here, and welcome to the desert of Avondale, Arizona and Phoenix Raceway. And we'll see how this one shakes out. It's going to be a trap position race, kind of like what we saw last week, but a little bit different. This is a little bit hard to pass, not impossible, but you definitely want to be starting up front where you can. We got LT back up here in the booth for the second week in a row in the Cup Series. You were on track yesterday for the National Series race. How do you think this is going to play out for the first true short track of the regular season?
I think it's going to be a very exciting race. I mean, coming off of last weekend with Willow Springs just being just hectic and chaotic, I think we're in for a great race here at Phoenix. Based off of last season's race, I think we're going to have a lot of battling, especially on restarts, 3 and 4 wide. These guys have to be careful to not get in any wrecks. We saw a big one last season. So if they could take care of their stuff, maybe they could get a good finish here by the end of the race.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You mentioned it. The big one happened on lap 4 last year. Also saw a mechanical issue that took out 3 out of 4 Stewart Haas cars. And we also saw a little bit of strategy late because of the early cautions. Ended up being a late race pit stop. 2 tires versus 4 tires, and no driver of Joe Rakowski won on a 4 tire strategy versus the 2 tires of eventual champion of Josh Manson. If we get a early caution here and there, how do you think that could shake out? It's about 40 laps on fuel. Just past halfway if it stays green, but if it's like last year, we probably won't stay green.
Yeah, if the race stays green, you'll probably see most of these guys just split the race in half. Maybe they'll go maybe a longer run, maybe shortcut, or undercut I should say, and then some people might overcut, but if we have that early yellow, that could really open up the strategy element we saw last season. Like you said, Joe Rakowski took those 4 tires compared to the 77's 2 tires, and that's what gave him the win because he was ultimately able to pass him later in the race. So we know that there's a second of fall off. Tires do matter here, but track position also matters too. So you're going to see these guys go crazy on restarts and especially the start of the race, but a strategy element is definitely going to be another key here at Phoenix Raceway.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Strategy, tire fall off, and track position. Let's see who can get the race win. Only 3 races into the 18-race regular season, and things are tight already. John Edwards is the new point leader, and he starts 4th here today. He has a 1-point lead over Local Dawn, who's coincidentally enough right in front of him in 2nd. Local Dawn is in 3rd, 2 points behind. While Kensington, off to a much better start this season than last season, is in 4th, minus 6. The Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. Steel Grand is in 5th, minus 10. Nicholas Same with Deal is in 6th, minus 11. Juan Garcia, last week's winner at Willow Springs, now 13 wins on the channel, is in 7th, minus 14. And Abel is in 8th, minus 18. And then the 2311 cars found out the top 10 in the point standings. There's Travis Crampton, minus 21, and Jordan Stout, minus 23. It's a little bit too early to talk about points, but that is the top 10 early on. And the top 10 on the racetrack to kick things off is a multi-time season veteran of Anna on the pole, alongside Miss Wilker doing one of the rookies. Jordan Stout once again starting up front here today, the Daytona 500 champ, alongside the point leader of Jordan Edwards. Row number 3, how about this? A great starting position from BB Ruiz in number 1, alongside Miss Trey Ball, who does not want a repeat of last year happen this year in this race. And then behind him is Matthew Hubert in the number 5 and the number 19 in Warren Kennington. And rounding out the top 10 here today is John Andrews and Nicholas Samuel in the number 77. And just going to quickly go through the field a little bit. You got Juan Garcia just outside the top 10. Alexander Vitali, Joe Rakowski, Lord Driver had a struggle start so far for 23-11. And we'll see how everything shakes out. Let's go ahead and get these draws rolling off. And I'm going to put you on the spot, as always, for the co-commentators. LT, who do you think will win here in the desert for the SeatGeek 500k?
This is a tough one. I mean, we saw last week my pick won, so I have high expectations for my pick this week to continue that trend. I'm going to go with the number 9 car of Jordan Edwards. He just seems to have a lot of momentum right now. He finished, I believe, 3rd last week at Willow Springs. He almost got the victory. You see him qualifying 4th here at Phoenix. I think he's going to be able to get the job done here and get the victory lane in that number 9 car.
Very solid pit. And it has had a very strong start to the season. It started in a crash where they probably should have won, but didn't. But we'll see what they can do. We got all 400 cars in the top 11. And we'll see if Edwards can get a second career Cup Series win. But it is a tale of two sides of the spectrum. We have a 5-season veteran of Andy Miller on the pole and a rookie of local Dawn beside him. 78 laps here today. Pit stops around lap 40 to 42. And we are green flag racing for the SeatGeek 500k race 4 of the season. Looks like it is going to be a clean lap number 1 here today, and it will be a bonus point towards the championship for Andy Miller in the number 21 machine. And that's always good to see. Always want a pole and then eventually lead a lap. Going stout side by side with Jordan Edwards. And here comes the number 5 of Hubert. And unfortunately, Release is already dropping back at the startings at the top 5. And we saw this last season. We might have to pay attention early on. Head-to racing 3 wide in the back of the field.
Yeah, this is where the chaos happened last season. The big wreck actually happened too. This middle of the pack, 3-4 wide racing. You see these guys trying to get track position early on. They know that once you get single file, it's hard to pass. So this is their opportunity to get as much spots as they can. But a lot of close racing, 3 wide. This is a trouble corner off of the exit of turn.
There they go!
Yep. That's what I was worried about. In the back of the pack.
Oh
14
no.
of Varga.
3rd in points.
Logan Williams.
2 years in a row where last year I think we had a caution on lap 4. And this year we have a caution on lap number 3. And now, the strategy game. Last year a few cars pitted on lap number 3 or lap 4. And looks like no one is going to pit this time. Oh, never mind.
Oh.
Eli Blight.
My driver.
And he's the only one besides obviously the 38 and the 14. I believe I saw Hernandez as well involved, and that's the nature of the 3 and 4 wide start. You need as much track position as you can. A tough break from Varga has had a very up and down season, mostly a down start, and a heartbreaker for Logan Williams in the number 38, 3rd in the point standings entering today. Most likely will not stay up there for long. I'm curious though, what's Eli Blight doing? Probably just a fuel only stop if I had to guess. If I can get back to Mr. Eli. I cannot. And he's already done his pit stop. So I don't know what he did. But it's going to be something. Might have to watch out for the 42 on the long one. 38 is going to keep on rolling. But going to have a no front end for the number 38. So let's go and see what happened. We have the first caution of the season here in the JBL Cup Series. And the first caution of the day in the SeatGeek 500k. Here we go. This is about the first caution of the day here at Phoenix, and a little bit of a rookie mistake from Stuart Grant. 4 wide in the back of the field, with Logan Williams to the inside, Varga to the very inside, Hernandez on the outside, and 4 wide is sketchy at any racetrack, especially here off of turn number 2, and they kind of squeeze off of turn 2. And that's going to send Hernandez down the racetrack. Varga held into the inside wall. Logan Williams as well. Stuart Grant, who caused all this, is going to get away from it without any sort of damage. But A tough break for the 1438 and the number 6. Early on lap number 3 here in this one.
So here's a full speed replay of the crash. Yeah, 47. Just, I don't know. Really aggressive for lap 3, and especially back in the pack. You always see the guy who caused to get away from it, which, you know, it's really lucky, but hate it for these guys who actually got a lot of damage for it.
Yeah, rookie mistake from Stuart Glenn, and unfortunately Hernandez has damage, and Logan Williams and Brent Varga. A tough start to his season once again, but it will be an interesting restart with Eli Bright doing some strategy, but everyone else staying out. We'll see what happens on this one for the first restart of the day at Phoenix. Welcome back to Phoenix Raceway after an early caution here at the SeatGeek 500k, and we'll see how the strategy game was out. 99% of the field stayed out, but the 3 cars in the back, obviously Varga and Williams, had damage. But Eli Bright, we don't really know what he did. We assume probably just fuel only, and we might have to watch out for that if things stay green long enough. Might see Eli pit later than everyone else. No one is out of this one. All 36 cars are still on the racetrack, and it is the front row 1-2 of Andrew Miller and Logan Dorn. Jordan Stout, the 500 champ, Jordan Edwards, Matthew Hubert, John Andrews, Ron Kennington, Trey Butler, Juan Garcia, and Joe Watkowski, last year's Phoenix winner, rounding out the top 10, and a great jump from Andrew Miller back on lap 8 of 78. Great jump from number 9 of Edwards, gonna get to the inside of the 23. Very short of that start that the 21 got, and now we'll see if these guys calm down at all with a single file restart instead of double file start. We put to the inside of Jordan Stout, and look at these 100 cars ball making it 3 wide to the inside of Kennington and John Andrews, and now that's going to be Andrews, Garcia, and Watkowski all the way down on the dog leg. And we'll see how everything plays out. Watkowski won here last year, and I bet you love this 43 car finally for the first time this season showing some true speed.
Yeah, I love to see that. Joe has not had the best season so far. It's been a tough start, but obviously it's great seeing him contend in the top 10 right now. But back towards the front, that 21 had a great jump in that restart. That was impressive as he leads Logan Dorn and Jordan Edwards. I believe the top 2 in points, right? So, as you can see, their consistency is continuing on here at Phoenix as they continue on at the front of the pack.
Without that right now, things would be tied between these two. Dorn is a 1 point behind the 9, so technically they would be tied. And we'll see if Dorn can get past the 21, take the race lead, and he's going to go for it with a great one to the inside. And side by side, maybe in the middle, running a lane higher. Dorn almost gets into the corner panel of the 21. Meanwhile, the 3 and 4 wide in the background already once again. But Dorn really wants this race lead, not only for the bonus point, but also for the track position. He saw his fellow rookie Stuart Brown won at Atlanta a couple of weeks ago and wants to get another win for the rookies. Gonna try again. Looks like a little bit better in 1 and 2 than Andrew Miller. Side by side again on lap number 12.
Yeah, that number 3 of Logan Dorn looks very strong right now. It looks like the 21 just gets a better run off the corners, though. He might have a better engine in that car, but the 3 just looks like it has better downforce, it seems. But you see a battle back here. Ronald Kennington and Jordan Stout going at it with Trey Bartle lurking in the wings. Looks like Ronald Kennington will get that position, with Trey Bartle following.
And last week's win, Juan Garcia one's way wide, and I will say, I think in 1 and 2, and maybe even a little bit in 3 and 4, there can be 2 lanes that work here. But that 3rd lane, and really, it's kind of like Atlanta. If you get out of the gray, it will drop in like a walk. And so far, it is still the front row 1-2. Edwards all over the back bumper of the top 3. Great one from Matthew Hubert. Ronald Kennington, Trey Ball is going to do a semi-slide job to get past the number 23. And then shout out to San Mateo, just outside the top 10, Ruiz and Owen Miles, Crampton. Monaco went in the middle to the inside of Noah Clifton. And another rookie of Kenneth Miller in the number 4, and same with Wyatt Wilson in the number 51. We'll see what Eli is doing. He's moving up a little bit, assuming he just has a fast car than some of these guys behind him. I'm pretty sure he probably just set feeling with how fast his pit stop was. And unfortunately the 14 is deep in the field, looks like to be more off the pace than what the 38. But Dorn once again, side by side, and this one might work out this time for the race lead.
Yep, looks like he will clear the 21 of Andrew Miller off of turn number 2. Jordan Edwards will probably look to get past Andrew Miller as well. He's going to be riding the bumper on him, but Rogo Dorn takes the lead, going to lead a lap, get that bonus point. Crucial for the championship, especially since he's already in 2nd place. Well, I mean, at the moment he's points leader based on where Jordan Edwards is, but Jordan Edwards is far behind, so yeah, I think these two guys are really fast.
Edwards looking really fast, same with Rogo Dorn. We'll see of what LCL can do with Lynn Kochma and Rogo Dorn and Duncan Ward. That team might be completely new with ownership and drivers, but I think they could have a very strong season, and always seeing it with Rogo Dorn. Side by side, and potentially, if the 9 machine looks strong, I think Andrew Miller, we're going to mention this all day, track position is key, but you definitely want a long run car. It's going to be about 40 laps on fuel, and not a ton of tire, but there is some, about a second or so. And Miller might be falling off a little bit. I might say that he gets a good 3 and 4. And we'll see if what Kowski can do. He won here last year, and a little bit of a different schedule, but last year he won Phoenix, and then 2 races later he won at Homestead. So we'll see if that ends up working out the same way. Want to go see him making some moves. He gained 10 positions and points last week, and once again inside the top 10. But right now, it's going to be interesting. Already on lap 20 is about 40 to 42 laps on fuel, maybe 45 for Eli Blight. So all the way halfway through this tire cycle, and this really it's going to get hard to pass. And we saw it last year, and always seeing it happen once again. But here we go, side by side for second, Edwards and Miller.
Yeah, that was a good look to the inside for Jordan Edwards on Andrew Miller. Looks like he's going to shortcut the dog leg here. Hopefully get a good run into turn number 1 and clear the 21 of Andrew Miller. Looks like he will. I don't know if Matthew Hubert will follow suit. I don't think he'll get underneath the 21 just yet, but this is where you see maybe the short run cars, such as the 21 of Andrew Miller, maybe struggle, because the long run cars are becoming more prominent, such as maybe the 3 or the 9 or the 5 car. You see even Trey Bardo and Ronald Kennington catching up to these guys, so maybe they have a long run setup in their car, and maybe they'll be able to contend in the later half of this run.
I think he's definitely on something. I think all 400 cars might have a long one set up, in the same with this number 19 that's gonna one up the racetrack, and Barlow might get a 1 on the number 19. That's a little bit close off turn number 4, and this is where these guys are just settling in. They know, hey, track position is key. They know that pit stops are still 20 laps away. But we've seen here before. Last year, we had a motor explode, and that caused some interesting strategy. That's almost bad right there between Sam Medeo and John Andrews. I saw Sam Medeo go wide off of turn number 2 and about smack the outside wall. These two battling just inside the top 10. Good one for 23-11, and once again, Trey Ball looks fast here, and he's going to try and get 2 for 1 in one corner. That was close.
Oh man, I thought he was going to make contact with the 5 of Matthew Hubert, but luckily kept it off of him. Ronald Kennington almost took the wall down in turns 1 and 2. I think Kennington lost, he lost 2 spots there? No, he lost 1 spot to Trey Bardo, but yeah, Trey Bardo looks fast though. He's trying to rebound from the not so great Earl Springs race that transpired for him. Just really unlucky there, but 4th place for him. Looks like he has a long run setup. Can he get up there and contend with 3, a 9, and a 21?
Yeah, last week Trey Bardo continued his up, down, up, down season, to say the least. Oh, Nathan almost got into the corner panel with a 5. Bottle, unfortunately, nowhere to go when the number 10, I believe, of Giacomo came out pit road, and Bottle the huge one down the front stretch, and we'll see if Bottle can rebound once again. Nathan to the inside and is going to get past the number 5. I'm impressed with how much consistent speed Hendrick Motorsports has had this season. Between the 9, the 5, the 24, and the 48, all 4 cars are much faster than last year. So, Reggie definitely knows what he is doing, and all of them are looking strong, but that's not good for Wachowski. He went wide in 1 and 2, but still a much good start for that 43 machine. You know what? I don't know. LT, I'm starting to think maybe Eli did take tires, because he's already just outside of the top 10 in the 15th position.
I believe he did too, because he has, started, I think, what, third last in the field, right?
Yeah.
And on the restart, and he's made his way all the way up to, where is he, 16th, 17th? So, he just had a bad set of corners there, but still, with a track position track such as, oh, V8 card! Oh no, Duncan Ward.
Well,
I saw that at the top of my screen.
And the caution is going to be out for that. Good eye there. And now, oh my goodness, the pace car. Well,
he's in a hurry.
And the pace car.
That's an issue.
This is something I've never seen before.
It didn't catch the 3 car. 3 car did not pit, so I don't know. Pace car is stuck on pit road, I believe.
Let's see how this plays out. Everyone but the 3 cars down on pit road. I've never seen this before. Don't know what the pace car is doing. The number 9 is on pit.
I think we need a breathalyzer on the pace car driver. But yeah, you see most of these guys are from... Nope, he's back on... Found a way.
Okay, I don't know how he made it back out. Looks like real good. Everyone's saying 4 tires. This is going to be interesting, LT, because there's going to be 30 laps to go. It's about 40 laps on fuel. It's going to be like 78. And then it's going to be like 70. The 3 is... I'm very confused.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with the 3 of Rogel Dorn here. He might... I think he has everybody lapped at the moment, so I think everybody's going to have to go by.
This is new. Never seen this before. I'd say let's go ahead and see what happened to Duncan Ward and let the officials figure everything out. And we'll see on what happens on the restart here in this one. Second caution of the day, and unfortunately these rookies are not having a fun time here today at the tricky Phoenix Raceway off turn number 2 once again, and Duncan Wood gets a little bit tight, I believe, and clips the corner panel of Enable, and that's going to send him down the racetrack into the inside wall. A little bit of a side slap, and unfortunately that Lenovo Chevrolet is going to go sideways, and that is going to be enough for a caution. And that's going to be the second caution of the day after a about 20 plus lap green flag 1. And we'll see if what ends up happening on the restart. But definitely for another rookie of Duncan Wood running just outside the top 20 at the time of his mistake.
Here's a full speed replay of what happened to the 8 of Duncan Ward. You see he's trying to get to the corner panel of 11 of Aaron Abel, but just gets really tight off of turn number 2 and gets into 11. Sends him to the inside wall. Just, yeah, rookie mistake. It's a hard track, especially on the exit of turn 2, so can't really blame him too much, but you hate to see it.
Yeah, it's a very underweight track. It is very tough, and that's turn 2 mistake we've seen here today, hopefully the last one. But it's going to be an interesting restart. Unfortunately, Local Dawn's going to get the short of the stick with whatever happened with the pace car. But it's going to be something everyone ends up happening. But the restart, will this be the last caution of the day? Well, we just have to wait and see here in this one. Welcome back to Phoenix Raceway, and we just had a moment of all time under the caution period. The pace car had a mechanical failure, so we got a new pace car, and we are good to go. Unfortunately, Logan Dorn kind of got the short end of the stick as he's going to be in the back, but I will say, I don't know how well this will matter, but he's going to have 1 lap flush of tires and 1 lap extra fuel. And the way that things are going at the end, they could pit around lap 70-ish, so we'll see on how that works out. Jordan Edwards is the new race leader with Andy Miller, Trey Butler, Warren Cunnington, Matthew Hubert, Joe Witkowski, Juan Garcia, Jordan Stout, Aaron Abel in the number 11, and then Jordan Edwards in the number 34. A weird situation right there, but we'll see of how everything shakes out on lap 33 of 78.
See Ronald Kennington making a good move to the inside of 21 of Andrew Miller. Ooh, that 5 and the 43 are going to be close.
Oh, we're looking again!
Yeah. Oh, that's not good. In front of the pack.
And that's the Phoenix big one.
Oh.
Wyatt Wilkinson, Zachary Fitzwater, Local Moons is going to be done now. Sustry and Kenneth Miller, and I saw someone else as well, the 16 of Eric Monaco.
Ugh, it's just these restarts are chaotic. Close, everybody's going to come down pit road, looks like again, though. Maybe they will, I assume they're going to top off, maybe take tires, I don't know.
The bright side, I think Logan Dorn made it, so he is fine.
That's good, yeah.
Gets to live another day, and I would imagine everyone's just going to top off since we only did 1 lap. Right there. We saw this last year, the restarts are chaotic and you need as much trap position as you can, and they're not going to top off. 2
tires on the 9 car. You got fuel, mixed bag. Oh man. Looks like fuel only for the 43, and I don't know who came out in front there, but
we got some strategy game.
Yeah, looks like fuel only for these front guys, I'd assume.
And then 2, maybe 4 for everyone back from the 9 on back. This is gonna be interesting.
We knew strategy was gonna be a huge factor here. This is gonna throw a wrench in things. I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Phoenix is definitely doing something. I have low expectations beyond the scenes for this one. This is better than I thought. We'll see what ends up happening with all the tire strategy and fuel only. It's still gonna be close on fuel. They cannot make it from here, but if we get another caution past lap 40, then they can. Let's go ahead and see what brought the 3rd caution of the day and the Phoenix big one down the backstretch here for the SeatGeek 500k. Here we go, turn number 2 gets a 3-peat. Eric Margot barely gets into the corner panel of Kenneth Miller, and unfortunately, that's going to spin him around in front of the back part of the field. Eli Bright is going to get a piece of it in the number 42, and actually a couple of shots for the 42 into the outside wall. And this is what we saw last year, and we saw once again, this is the lowest spot to have a trap block, and Fitzwater with damage, Wyatt Wilkinson, Duncan Ward, Alexander Rowe, Logan Williams, Kenneth Miller, and then Sustry. Just a lot of big hits and a lot of cars involved that probably could have been avoided if this happened down the front stretch and not the back stretch. But a tough day for Logan Williams, and a rookie mistake from Eric Marco here. Go ahead and do full speed, and hopefully we will go back going for the final time here today in a wild SeatGeek 500.
So it'll be the full screen replay of what happened here. Eric Monaco just looks like he's just a little bit impatient onto the left rear quarter panel of the 4 car. Turns him around in front of the field. See my car, Eli Blake get involved. Not too happy about that. Oh, just hard hits Oh man, that 4 car took a bunch of them. Kenneth Miller. Hopefully he's all right, but yeah, just rookie mistake, like you said, by a veteran. His 3rd season, you don't really expect to see that out of him, but yeah, should have had more patience there.
Yeah, without doubt, not even halfway through at this point, and unfortunately a lot of 20 race cars in back of the field. In that one, we'll see the strategy game. Some people took 2, some people took 4, and then a couple of drives up front took few only. We'll see what ends up happening with hopefully the final result of the day in a wild race here at Phoenix. Welcome back to Phoenix Raceway after the 3rd caution of the day, and we have a mixed bag of strategy here. Some drivers took 2 tires, some took 4 tires, some took few only. And it's going to be very interesting to know what ends up happening. Unfortunately, we do have some cars out finally after the big one down the back stretch. The 41, 51, 38, 17, 4, and 16 are all in the garage. The Akimo is 2 laps down. There's a broken pit box, and unfortunately he was the one that got it. And unfortunately the 8 is back down pit road. Don't know what happened on why he is back down pit road. But it will be Amanda Miller, Joe Witkowski, Juan Kennington, and able to top 4 with few only. And then 5th on bat with some 2 tire versus 4 tire strategy of Jordan Edwards. And on bat, it's going to be interesting. They cannot make it from here. Back green on lap 38 of 78.
See a much calmer start there compared to previous. You see the 45 in Crampton looks like he missed a corner a little bit, but 34 car of John Andrews making some progress, passing Jordan Edwards on the inside. I believe those are the 2 tired people.
Witkowski with a low exit of turn 4, and he's gonna try something here. It's gonna be interesting because these 2 tires and 4 tires difference, and then of course the fuel only, it's not gonna matter at the moment because everyone pitted about the same time. But if we get a long run, that could help these guys like Edwards, like not Edwards, like Andrews, like Crampton, and everyone else behind him. Trey Ball, we are pretty certain that he might have taken 4 tires because he dropped back outside the top 10. The 6 is on pit road. Don't know what happened to him, but this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very strategy based, as the 11 is going to slide drop to number 19. Unfortunately, the 8, I think that's the damage glitch. Unfortunately, here. You might have to, unfortunately, DQ the 8 to minimize a potential caution. But now we are finally on that 41 to 78, just past halfway in a wild SeatGeek 500.
Yeah, I said this at Willow Springs. I feel like I've watched the whole race already, but we still got another half to go. Just a chaotic race so far. A lot of good battling. We see Travis Crampton. Looks like he's going to get 2 for 1 here. He got 34 of John Andrews, and now he's getting the 19 of Ronald Kennington on the inside. Looks like that car's coming alive. He's making his way towards the front. Good to see the Jack Haas owned car making his own. We got the 8 car come back on track. This could be come back to pit road.
Yeah, he has the damage glitch. Unfortunately, we might have to DQ him real quick to minimize cautions. I'm so sorry, Duncan Wood, but it's nice to have this chat tool for reasons like that, because that would be a problem always long. Crampton side by side with the 19, one of those guys with 2 tires and 4 tires. Oh no, Stuart Glenn!
Ooh, that was close.
The Atlanta winner just had a suspension failure.
I thought he was about to get destroyed from behind there on a dog leg. That happened last season. We saw mechanical failure and people from behind could not avoid, but luckily everybody was able to get by him safely. Fortunate for him there.
Oh my goodness, this race has been something to behold. Well, I'm not even at lap 50. Follow makes the move. How about Alexander Vitale? We've not seen him up front all day long as Minara's forward. And now he's making moves up towards front. How about Duncan Halliston in number 15? Noah Clifton, Owen Miles, Justin Zidell. New draws up towards the front with his tire strategy. Meanwhile, it's last year's Phoenix winner of Joe Witkowski still hanging on with this fuel-only strategy. but we'll see of how long that plays out. And Miller, once again, showing that he has a short run car. He has a 1 second advantage over Witkowski and Abel in the 3rd position. And Edwards in 4th, Crampton in 5th, and Edwards is, and Anderson 6th. These two might be good on the long one here.
Yeah, I agree with that, especially with them taking tires compared to the guys on the front not taking tires. We're going to see, obviously, these guys who took tires catch them probably at the end of this run. But yeah, this 21, I mean, the short run speed he has, he's just taken off about 1.2 seconds over Joe Witkowski and the rest of the field. He's setting pace, but obviously, you know, we still have another pit stop coming, so it's not over yet.
Yeah, we'll see if they maybe worked on this 21 for the long one. And you mentioned that another pit stop is going to be fairly close. It might be around lap 70-ish. And if that's the case, I'm glad I'm not a crew chief, because I don't know if you only in that case for only a 8-lap sprint or take 2 tires, because this may be fairly interesting. But we'll see how everything plans out, and maybe, and knock on wood, we can have a long green flag 1 finally here today. But I'm impressed by Wickler Racing. I've said this a lot, and once again, Duncan Alverson just outside the top 10 in the 13th position, quietly winning a great race. Seidel running a little bit lower, and we'll see how everything plays out. Local Dawn kind of got the short end of the stick of a couple of cautions ago, made it through the big one, and he's in 18th. I think this 3 car does have the speed, and we'll see if he has the time to get back up towards the front. With 30 laps to go, I believe, it is all Animal with a 1.5 second lead, but Crampton, John Andrews are slowly catching up with 9, 11, and the 43.
Yeah, it looks like they're being very calm right now. They're just biding their time, trying to log laps. We saw a string of cautions, so these guys probably just want to get a nice long green flag run in, which is nice to have. No wrecks or any chaos. It's nice to see these guys race it out, see who has a long run car maybe. I think Travis Crampton at 45 is somebody to watch, especially in a long run. In 20 laps or so, we'll see where he comes out. But we see 9 of Jordan Edwards on the bumper of 11 of Aaron Abel.
And Abel 8th in points. I really like this move from Joe Gibbs, from RCL to Joe Gibbs. I don't like that move though from the number 9, and that might open up the door for some of these guys on fresher tires of Crampton and John Andrews. And still a huge lead, and it's continuing to grow for Andrew Miller. Gonna quickly look and see the 47 is out with that suspension failure, so a tough break for the Atlanta of Stuart Glenn. And now that leaves us with only 28 cars on the racetrack here in this one. It's been a wild one, but we are finally having a long green flag 1 with Andrew Miller out front with a 2+ second lead. Might catch up with a lap car of Zachary Fitzwater, all destroyed, no hood and no back bumper. And that could slow down Andrew Miller. We got Aaron Abel maybe peeking to the inside of Joe Witkowski, battle for 2nd. John Edwards in 4th, Crampton in 5th. John Andrews in the 6th position, Ron Kennington in 7th, Hooper in 8th. Juan Garcia in 9th, and Trey Bell in 10th. And once again, all 4 new cars are inside the top 10. Sam Vitale in 12th. Duncan Alverson in 12th for now. The 12th is in 11th. But Miles all over the side of the number 15. That was a little bit close, LT. And we still got racing all over the place, but because I think I'm finally settling in for the first time today, knowing that, hey, we still have a long way to go, and we still have 1 more pit stop here.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, that's close. Travis Crampton on the left rear of 11 of Aaron Abel. Be nervous there. But yeah, this exit of turn number 2, you see these guys sliding around with the worn tires, especially late in the run. You're going to see a lot of these guys sliding, and it's kind of exciting to see. But Travis Crampton looks like he's going to maybe get this pass on Aaron Abel. Oh, we see Jordan Edwards making a pass on Joe Witkowski for 2nd place too.
And he's going to easily take that away from Markowski. And Crampton's going to force his way a little bit. Maybe a little bit of contact. It was close. And now this might be where we start seeing these 1 or 2 lap tire differences. Because it's not huge. But there's enough tires. John Hamm is about to turn unable. That was close right there. And you said these guys are sliding off turn 2. And it almost looks like they're sliding off turn 4 now as well. And in the middle was able to get past Fitzwater just fine. We'll see what everyone else can do. As Fitzwater had a tough break involved in that big one. And now Edwards, Witkowski are going to have to catch up to Fitzwater at a bad time. And that's going to allow Crampton to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, not where Jordan Edwards wanted to catch the lap car there. Looks like everybody else. Oh, Travis Crampton might get stuck behind him. Oh, might have hit him there a little bit. 71 doesn't even have a back bumper, so I don't even know if he did hit him. But see, everybody else looks like they'll be able to get by him. But yeah, like you said, we see the guys who took tires now, they're starting to really come alive. The guys who took fuel only now suffering, such as the 11 car. Joe Rakowski kind of falling off. We'll see if the 21 falls off because he took fuel only 2. So looks like he's got about 10 more laps to go before we got to make another pit stop. So we'll see if Jordan Edwards can run him down in that time frame.
Yeah, that's the big thing. We assume it's going to be 10 laps to go. But with that strategy range, I don't know, maybe someone can pull something out of the hat and pit early. Because they cannot make it. It's really close, but they cannot make it from here. Well, yeah, from the last caution, they cannot make it. And Abel still fighting with John Andrews, Juan Cunnington as well. And these guys are getting really close with that number 71. Local the one is still making some moves in that number 3 machine in the 16th position. So I think that 3 machine still has a lot of pace underneath it and should get a good one still. And it's finally under 2 seconds. It was 2+ seconds, and now Andrew Miller is down to 1.9. And we'll see. This has kind of been the way that it's been for that 21 all day. Has a short one color. Might have adjusted it a little bit, but it still looks like might have a short one color. And Andrews is going to get a 1 up top. It's going to be interesting. 16 laps to go. They can pit whenever, but I assume they would pit around lap 70-ish. And that's, oh my goodness, Kennington was not happy with trying to really wanted that spot.
Looks like the 19's getting a little bit impatient. He's probably a little bit frustrated from last week. He was so close to winning at Willow Springs. He's probably carrying that into this week. Probably wants to get a victory here at Phoenix Raceway. But yeah, we see the 21 still holding that 2-second lead over the 9 car of Jordan Edwards. But like you said, this is really going to come down to what the strategy is for these teams on this last pit stop. Because it's going to be a very mixed bag. Will people take fuel only? I assume that's the way to go. But do they take tires? We see tire fall off be a big thing here, but if they pit, I mean, there's only going to be a handful of laps to go. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens here. But 21 still holds a really decent lead over the 9 car.
Yeah, I bet look glad that you're not a crew chief and just a team owner, because this is a tough spot to be in. Late race pit stops. Don't know what to really expect on 2 tires versus 4 tires, or maybe just fuel only. Tyler is not as bad as, say, Atlanta, where pretty sure everyone took 2 tires at least. They probably could go with fuel only for this final pit stop, and that could really play into a factor. But Andrew Miller, I think it's safe to say, he's probably going to get the bonus point for leading the most laps here today, and that's going to be good for him for that number 21 machine. And we are at the cycle where these guys really have to start thinking about when they want to pit and what do they want to do. Unfortunately, local doing is starting to drop back a little bit, it looks like, in number 3. And the number 2 of Justin Lightell almost got into the outside wall, but a huge one exiting the corner. It's going to be interesting. If you were a crew chief, I know they're not, but if you were a crew chief, what would you do on this final pit stop?
Gosh, I mean, this is why I hired the crew chiefs for Joe Rakowski and Eli Bryan. I don't do the calls. I'm just an owner. But if I had a crew chief, I mean, I don't know how much the time variance is compared to taking fuel only, compared to taking 2 tires with that. Fuel only will obviously get you more time on the track, but 2 tires is also something nice to lean on, at least on the track. You won't lose a lot of time. So I'd take 2 tires, a little bit of fuel too, for that last little stint. But we'll see coming up here what these crew chiefs are thinking.
Absolutely. We saw this last year with about 10 laps to go. We saw, I think it was like 18 laps to go, but we saw the similar strategy game. And it's not going to be quite as much, but it's going to be 8 to 10 laps where these guys are going to have to figure out what they want to do. And in theory, we should be getting close. Animal has a 2-second dominant performance, and it looks like they have figured out the long one setup finally for that number 21 machine. So maybe, depending on what strategy, he can steal a win. Still cannot count Crampton, and that's gonna be interesting. The top 3 took for only. Meanwhile, Crampton, Andrews, Kennington, they at least took 2 tires. Some of them might have taken 4. So it's gonna be very interesting. I also want to say that the guys that took fuel only might have to pit for at least 2 tires. And maybe some of the guys that took tires under that last caution might be able to just do fuel only. They might be able to do the opposite of each other, and we'll see what ends up happening. This time by lap 71 of 78, I believe the tool, never mind, he faked me out. That's just how bad the tires are at the moment. I thought he was going to pit, but he's not. And we'll see what ends up happening. Nate Lopez with a good one late, and it's still a horse that's in the midfield.
Yeah, I mean, this is not where you want to be side by side with very, very worn tires. You see these guys just really holding on for dear life at the end of this run. Their tires are practically bald at this point. We'll see if anybody comes down pit road. No, not yet. So, I mean, I'm thinking as the longer this goes, the more likelihood people are going to take fuel only and no tires. So, we'll see what transpires. Oh, something might have hit the wall there, but yeah, I don't know if lap cars will come into play. Looks like, oh man, 21's building his lead.
I'm leaning towards the fact that I think they might just do a fuel only stop here. Oh my goodness. Not if we get a caution, that would change everything here. But, like you said, the tires are so bald at this point. This is the longest one that we've had all day, honestly, with all the cautions. And I agree with you. I think at this point it's going to be fuel only for when these guys pit, if they do have to pit. If they don't pit and somehow make it on fuel, then Andy Miller is in the capitalist seat with that 21 machine. But I don't think they can. It's going to be close. We might have a fuel mileage scenario here. I think with how slow they are running, they are trying to maybe make it 4 more laps here in this one.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I haven't even considered the fact that they could make it the entire way. See if 21 pits here. No, so these guys might have been saving the entire run. They might have lowered their race pace and just maybe coasted in the corners and whatnot and actually saved a couple laps of fuel, which I didn't think was going to be possible. So it's going to be interesting to see who makes it and who doesn't here. Maybe the whole field will make it. I don't know, but you see Aaron Abel here trying to pass Travis Crampton. But I think these guys they're so slow right now. Oh my gosh, it's the tire wear and maybe the fuel saving. This
is the most extensive tire fall I've seen here in all of testing, and this is just these guys stretching out. 2 laps to go. We'll see if Andy Miller can stretch it to the end and do the unthinkable here in this one. Looks like he's gonna stay out again. Yes, so Andy Miller and these guys might be able to make it all the way. Never mind. Oh no. John Anders cannot make it.
Now, Miles cannot make it. will they make it another lap, these front runners?
Oh boy, the power 1 to go. Will Andrew Miller make it? A few cars couldn't. Will Miller make it? All he has to do is coast it. He is going to stay out in the number 21 machine. And he's going to do of what I did not think was possible here today. Andrew Miller, the poster, dominates the late. And on fuel strategy and ball tires, the 5-seat veteran of Andrew Miller will win the SeatGeek 500k.
Wow. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought these guys were for sure going to have to at least take some fuel or come down pit road for tires at least, but
it's like most of the field made it.
Yeah, impressive. They must have been saving the entire run. 21 back-to-back weeks. You saw him save fuel last week at Willow Springs, got him a good finish. This week, he must have good fuel mileage in that 21 car because just impressive run. Impressive fuel mileage saving. Good job for Andrew Miller and Ryan Durrani, owner of Wood Brothers Racing.
Definitely a great couple of strategy races for that pairing, and it's not a new sight to see. We've seen Wood Brothers be very strong the last couple of seasons, and from the pole to the win, and hangs on with the race victory. A few drivers cannot make it on fuel, such as John Andrews, Owen Miles, Weem, Hernandez, and then some just got a lap down. But a very interesting race here at Phoenix Raceway. In the middle with the race win, John Andrews in second, Wilkowski in third, Crampton in fourth, and Abel in fifth, Kennington in sixth, Hubert, Barlow, Garcia, and Nick Lopez steals a top 10 rate due to, unfortunately, John Andrews not being able to make it. Dylan Matthews out of San Vitale, Justin Zidell, Jordan Stout, Burnett, Samuel Deal, Blight in 17th, Old Gold Thorn in 18th, Halveston, Clifton, and Ruiz running up the top 21 cars that were on the lead lap. And then Falca, Andrews, Miles, Weem, Hernandez, Fitzwater, Diacono, all 1 or 2 laps down. And then unfortunately all these guys were out in one way, shape, or form. Graham faced suspension issue. Duncan Wood had the damage glitch and had to get DQ'd, and then everyone else was involved with that big one down the back stretch of Alexander Rowe, Wyatt Wilkinson, Logan Williams, Seth Fry, Kenneth Miller, and Eric Marco. A very interesting race, a tale of two halves. The first half was wild with a bunch of wets. Second half, these guys were trying to make it on fuel, and they were for most of them. And the Miller, he didn't have a long run car early, but he had 1 minute matter late, and he gets the win in a wild SeatGeek 500. What's the final thoughts of that one?
That was really, really exciting to watch and be up here in the commentary booth for. Just watching the chaos in the first half of the race, but obviously the second half with everybody on worn tires and fuel saving, which I didn't think they were doing. You can never go wrong with a fuel mileage race. It's really, really exciting. You never know who's going to make it and who's not. But just impressive run by the 21 of Andrew Miller to save fuel and just be really dominant in the second half of that race. And a good run finally for Joe Orkowski and the people at LMC. It's good to see that. Hopefully get some momentum going on into these next West Coast Swing races, which, I mean, this West Coast Swing, it is really exciting, I'll say the least.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, so far Little Springs, that blew all my expectations out of the water. Possibly one of the best road course races I've seen in the JBL Cup Series. And then, once again, I have very low expectations for Phoenix. I knew it would be decent, but I didn't think it would be like what we saw here today. A bunch of crashes, a lot of sliding, to say the least, and that strategy at the end, in the middle with the way to win. And that is going to be, I believe, his 5th Cup Series win for that number 21 driver in the middle. Gonna get a 7th overall win on the channel. Next week we will see what the 3rd West Coast race has in store at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Move that race from the chase to the regular season, and that is gonna be a fun one as well. Back to the mile and halves, and we'll see on who can gamble and win out at Las Vegas. Maybe it'll be LMC finally came through and gambling and win. hopefully we don't see what happened here today, but what a interesting race, and congratulations to Anna on the race win and a wild topsy-turvy SeatGeek 500. The points will be at the end of the video. Thanks for LT for joining me up here in the booth back-to-back weeks, and we will see you guys with a doubleheader for both Cup and National Series at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.